there and welcome back to the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel, where today I'll be going through everything that we learned from Hull City versus Newcastle, the first domestic pre-season friendly at the MKM Stadium. This will be followed up by another friendly against Fiorentina at the MKM on Tuesday night. I will be there giving you all of the insights from that key pre-season friendly. So the season kicks underway in just under 2 weeks' time. Tim Walter is a lacking on numbers, we will say. So we'll go through the new transfer rumours, how likely they are to be pulled off, and what situation the club is in and can be in come at the start of the season, or certainly by the deadline. So let's crack through first into some breaking transfer rumours that are heavily speculated and heavily backed up, we'll say. So Charlie Hughes, you may be familiar with this one. Charlie Hughes, the current Wigan Athletic centre-back, England under-21 international. He's been stated as the next coming of Maguire, and if for Hull City, theoretically, he would be the Jacob Greaves replacement. Although yesterday I was happy with the performance of Alfie Jones and Sean McLaughlin, we certainly do need a good quality backup centre back. Whether that means Sean McLaughlin's on a rotation role, whether it means that Andy Smith gets a bit more of a look in, as I certainly think he's got a lot more to prove, considering his excellent loan experiences, maybe not at Cheltenham last season, but certainly at Grimsby the season beforehand. But Charlie Hughes to Hull City, it seems like Hull City are certainly aiming in for this one and putting in quite as a considerable bid for the Wigan centre-back. So a first bid was put in of £3 million, plus a few add-ons, I believe, and that wasn't enough for Wigan. They were said no straight away. So Hull City have made a second bid in the region of £7 million. That's 4.5 million and then 2.5 million in add-ons. Interestingly enough, Hughes was meant to be involved in a friendly from Wigan yesterday when they faced Blackburn. He was left out of the squad due to an injury. He was still at the game and was still there, but it will be a bit of an interesting one to follow over the coming days. Tim Walter did come out saying after the game that a signing is unlikely before we face Fiorentina, but certainly there will be some afterwards before we head away to Reading in our final pre-season friendly. So an interesting one to follow. I'll keep you up to date on all of the news around Charlie Hughes and all of the other signings that come our way. Before we crack into any more summer signings, or potential summer signings, should we talk about one man in particular who had a real new lease of life at the MKM Stadium, and that is Zavier Simons. Zavier Simons was out on loan last season. Did all right, picked up a bit of an injury halfway through the season, and that kind of derailed him for the rest of the season. Did all right out on his loan, comes back to the MKM Stadium, and Tim Walter has, I don't know what he's done to him, but he's turned him into a fantastic physical, ball-playing centre midfielder, CDM, whatever you want to call him, under this Tim Walter setup. So it's a bit of an interesting case with Zavier Simons. Of course, he got the captain's armband at the game against Doncaster, where we did unfortunately lose 4-0. But he got the captain's armband. He started majority of the pre-season friendlies, if not all of them, over Seri, which is an interesting case to follow, especially around Seri's rumoured links to the Saudi and Qatar and stuff, and whether Seri could be here for the season, who knows. But I'd be happy with the hands of Zavier Simons as the starting CDM. His pace yesterday, I did not know he was as quick as he was. He was making brilliant runs through the midfield. He was leading some charges, especially where Oscar lacks in pace. He was certainly making up for it through that central avenue. And it's a real pleasure to see him thrive at the MKM Stadium after his sort of start to his time at Hull City was comparing him with Harvey Vale, and of course Zavier Simons was a little bit better than Harvey Vale in a City shirt, but then people were going, right, what's next for the lad? He just needs to get that little bit of extra about him, and whether it's the loan experience from last season, or whether it's this Tim Walter philosophy and the way that Tim Walter likes to play, whether that could be the aspect that has changed Zavier Simons' game. So going to a reunition with Tim Walter, and that is Marvin Melham, who is a 26-year-old German attacking midfielder. An attacking midfielder, okay. I'd maybe say the squad needs a few more wingers, especially with the departure of Jason Lakilo most recently to CSK Sofia for 350k. But this one is in the pipeline. Marvin Melham, it seems to be a near enough close deal. He developed, Walter developed him over in Karlsruhe Academy. He managed him at under 17s, under 19s level and scored 16 goals and 13 assists in 61 games for the attacking midfielder. So that's quite impressive, already under Tim Walter at a youth setup. For Darmstadt, he has played 191 games, grabbing 23 goals and 31 assists in the process. And he has also got 21 German youth caps. That is one to keep an eye on, whether it comes in or doesn't. Of course, he has played under Tim Walter, knows the Tim Walter style of play, so if this one doesn't happen maybe until a few days before the season starts, or even once the season starts, I won't be too panicked, because he can easily adapt straight into that Tim Walter style of play, because he has already played it in the past and done well with it at a youth setup. Of course, professional senior football is a different level, but hopefully he can rise to the challenge as he has done over at Darmstadt. So, before we go on to the final little bit of transfer news, we'll talk about Cody Drammer. Cody Drammer, he came on for his debut in the second half at right back as Louis Cole switched to left back as Matty Jacobs had a bit of a lacklustre first half, giving Jacob Murphy a little bit too much breathing room down that left-hand side. Whether that's a spot to keep an eye on, of course, because it seems that Ryan Giles is going to be playing on that left wing. Whether someone that I'm going to talk about in a second can make a change to that, who knows? Because obviously I would prefer Ryan Giles as a left back, as his runs down the left-hand channel work better from him going from the defensive line. And with Matty Jacobs' performance, I guess it's a pre-season friendly, so he can't be too quick to judge. He was all right last season. He was one of the better defensive players last season, especially breaking into the first team. Whether he just needs a bit more time working into this Tim Walter style of play, who knows? But Cody Drammer, that's the guy I was talking about. He had quite a good debut, I must say, for the Tigers. Was in a bit of shadows of Osiris Christie when we first had him, before he obviously got that injury and then turned into one of the worst right backs in the league. But certainly a promising start for him. Of course, only 45 minutes to show what he was about, but I must say those were the strongest 45 minutes that Hull City had for the game. I certainly think that the second half was very, very strong in Hull City's capacity. And Cody Drammer, certainly going to watch him over the next two pre-season friendlies and see what develops out of it. But I'm heavily impressed so far. And I must say that everything seems to be going Cody Drammer's way at Hull City. Of course, only been here a few days as well, so a bit more time under Tim Walter's style of play, and he can show what he's really about, what he has proven out in the Championship already. Quickly, before we go into the last one, a bit of breaking news from today, and that is that James Furlong, he could be looking to depart City on a loan. Looking to go to AFC Wimbledon on a loan deal for this entire season, and that seems to be near enough done. Not too many loan outs done. I think this actually might be the first loan out for City this transfer window. Of course, there'll probably be a few more coming up once we know the state of the squad and we know which youth players can go out and which youth players might need to stay at the club. But James Furlong seems to be sure enough to go out on loan, and it's a brilliant one. I said he should have gone out on loan last season if Liam Rosenior wasn't going to play him. Get him out on loan. We've signed him. He's really promising. He's got so much to show about himself. Get him out on loan. Get him that game time, game experience in senior football. There's no good using him in under 21s and then bringing him on for the occasional FA Cup game. Especially with the state of the left-back situation at the moment. We've got Ryan Giles. We've got Matty Jacobs, who I probably would start over James Furlong at the current moment because he hasn't had a chance to prove himself. And then obviously Louis Coyle can play at left-back apparently as well. So we'll wait and see on this one. But I'll keep you today on all of that as James Furlong looks to be heading off to AFC Wimbledon on a loan deal for this season. So Hull City want to add a 23-year-old left winger Ferdi Alidou of Eintracht Frankfurt to their squad on loan. So that's what I'm saying with the left-back situation. If this deal does come in, it could be quite a good one, considering that Ryan Giles will probably play the left-back role. You maybe have Matt Jacobs as the backup left-back, which might be a good position for him. And then Alidou as the starting left winger. The German footballer has completed the last season on loan in Cologne. Alidou, he played 26 matches over there, started 14 of them, and grabbing 4 goals in the process. Hull is preparing to make an official bid for the 23-year-old fast-paced winger in the near future. So this one seems to be one that may take a week or two, especially with these being early reports at the moment coming through in the past day. So an interesting one, I must say, to keep an eye on there for Hull City. It will be an interesting deal if it does come off. Of course, another German player, whether that's feeding into Tim Walter's style of play, whether he's going for plays that he knows about, which we saw with Rosinia, and it worked with Rosinia to some sort of capacity. So hopefully that does come about. But we will we'll wait and see on all of that front. As I say, do make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here, because I'll keep you up to date on everything Hull City, as we will be cracking through tomorrow with a prediction and a news video ahead of our final domestic home pre-season friendly against Italy's Fiorentina. And then we'll jet off, I say jet off to Reading. We will drive to Reading as we face Reading away in our final pre-season friendly before Hull City kick it all underway at home to Bristol City in just under 2 weeks' time. So make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Up the Tigers!